Hey, what's up guys? My name is Caden. Welcome to this track guide in the Radical SR10 out Road America. Track conditions are just about optimal. Gonna be on race fuel for this lap here. So coming up to turn 1 here, we're gonna be staying left. Try and stay off the grass, not scrubbing any speed off. When we reach just between the 3 cone and this 4 cone here, we're going to start lifting off our throttle and applying our brakes just before we reach that 3 cone. We're going to get hard on the pressure, try to do a lot of our braking early. Start rotating into the corner. We just about reach the curb. We're going to let off the brakes, making sure we've done all of our necessary rotation really early on and start popping on our throttle here. Try to avoid using the dirt here. It'll just lose you some time unless you can cut it hard enough, which you can't really. It'll just slide you off out of the corner. So get on power, get on like 50% throttle, and then start moving up to your 100% throttle so you can exit nice and wide. Try to avoid getting this off track right here. It's based on the middle of your car, so the exact center point of your car. It's just gonna kill the lap. So coming down into turn 2 here, just gonna be straightening it, and then got this 2 board here. The line comes out just about when the 2 board line comes out right here. We're gonna brake, start lifting, and then start our braking point halfway in between the 1 and the 2. Gonna get hard on the brakes. Nice early braking as well here, and then we're going to trail into the corner, going nice down to 3rd for your exit speed, and then we're going to start popping on the throttle just about halfway through the corner, get up to most of the way, and then finish out the throttle application so we can get a nice wide exit without getting this off track right here again. I've been using my brake bias. I've been using 58.5. I find it rotates the car quite nicely through most of the corners here. So now coming into turn 5 here, I'm going to be staying. I prefer staying left here so that I can set up my entry better. So halfway in between the 3 and the 2 board right here, we're going to start lifting off the throttle and get to our max pressure at the 2 board, or when this asphalt starts back up away from the gravel. Quick tip about this corner: there's no off track anywhere on entry here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to use this line that we set up early and take it so that we can go drive straight off the track and get as far right as we possibly can. We want to get as far right, but you don't want to be pointing away from the corner when the turn-in point should be. So we're just going to get right, but we're not going to compromise our braking or our line unnecessarily. Going to start turning in, trying to aim for that apex right here. Again, get just about when we start touching the curb, we're going to try to start applying our throttle. I prefer to try to keep my tires along the curving right here. You can try to pop along here, especially in a side-by-side battle. Might be a good idea to try to pop that, just so you have that little bit of extra space. But I don't find it necessary personally. So we're gonna come in, just drive straight over to that area. And then we're going to get back in, get on power, and then start throttling up. All right, 3rd gear for this corner as well. You want to get the RPMs out of the corner. So coming in, RPMs, and try and not touch that gravel pit as hard. This corner, it's a bit weird. There's not really a specific brake reference that I use. I'm really good with my feel, so be careful as well. If you're using the 58.5 brake bias, your brake bias is under like 60, the car will get really loose in this corner. So you're going to want to prolong your braking and you're going to want to slow your downshifts or try to downshift early so you don't have that engine braking stepping out the rear of your car. So coming in, I'm going to be braking just about when this concrete block here gets in between my middle monitor and my right monitor, or about like 2 to 3 car lengths behind this spot on the track right here. It's not concrete, I know. But this corner is complex, and I'd rather not push my braking than I'd rather not push my braking and get a stable entry so I can get a better exit and get back on that power smoother. So we're only braking about 50% here. Nice slow bleed onto the brakes, earlier downshift. Coming into the apex, just about when we get most of the way through the corner, start seeing this exit opening up here. Trees start opening up. We're going to hop on our power. Coming out, trying to exit as wide as we can, and then still continuing the turn left so we can get left for the next corner here. Careful on exit here. Third, it can be a bit sketchy at times. Your rear will get loose on the late exit phase, so just be aware of that. Coming into this next corner here, small lift. Small lift for the rotation, and then we're going to get on power pretty quickly so we can continue that speed. So now coming down into turn 8 here, halfway in between this 2 and 3 board, we will be braking. So start lifting at the 3, but get to your pressure halfway in between at the 2. Use all the track you can. Can be a bit sketchy trying to get up onto this curve, so I don't use it as often as I maybe should. But I mean, I'm focusing on my entry. Get your rotation. Coming down to second gear. Coming over. You can try to get as far over this curve as possible so you can straighten your exit. The exit is pretty narrow here, especially that curve. So popping on throttle just as we about hit the curb right here, holding that steering angle, coming out to the curb as far left as possible here. My braking or my lift reference for this corner is when the concrete starts getting thicker here. So if you can see, it's pretty thin here from the white line, and then all of a sudden it becomes really thick. So I lift right about there, and then I just hold the line. This corner is so long, it doesn't really matter what you do in the mid corner. If you're wide to the left to try to straighten your exit, you're just losing time because it's extra distance you have to travel for a corner that is already pretty much a straightaway. So gonna hold, do a micro trail brake every so often to try to get a bit of rotation, and then like my lift point, when the track starts getting thicker again with the concrete, I'm gonna start bringing up my throttle. So wait until I can visually see the track getting thicker, and then I'm starting to ramp up my throttle application. Make sure I will make the exit, because you want to commit to the throttle early. If you're lifting, you're just losing time. If you have to lift after committing to throttle, you're just losing time because you're understeering. And then we're just gonna hold the corner tight and make the inertia force us out. Going in flat corner right here, use all the track that you have so you don't scrub speed. Straighten the line here, and then we're gonna be lifting at the 4 and braking halfway in between. So coming in, braking really hard, getting down that gears for that engine braking. We're going to be coming down to third again here. This corner you really need third, because 4 your revs will be bottomed out and you'll just lose time Just be careful though on the exit here. Third can give you pretty high revs and wheel spin on the rear, so you gotta be smooth on the input. Turning in here, you can try to use the gravel right here to straighten the corner a bit more. I sometimes do that, but I mostly try to keep it on the track. It won't hurt you as bad as like it will on turn 1. So gonna be coming straight in, clear, using the gravel. You can really use it. Trying to get on power quite early as well here. So we're getting on power about halfway through the corner. But we're gonna smoothly ramp it up when we know we have the grip and from the rears. Straighten up. Get onto this curb here. And about a car length in, we're gonna start our turn in. You really need to turn in early here. If you turn in late, the car won't properly load and you'll just understeer off the track and have to lift more than you would need to. So about car length in, start our turn in. You don't need to lift much, but just enough so that the car rotates, and then you get back to power pretty quickly for the exit speed here. Use all the track. This corner, I start braking just about when the track color changes, but I'm going to stay mid-track here so that I can let the car drift left for me rather than braking and turning, so that I can use as much track as I possibly can. So we're gonna come through, get your braking done early, and then just about when we touch the curb on our rotation, we see the exit. You're gonna want to get to as much power as you can. So just before you touch the curb, hit your apex, and then when you leave full power, use all the track necessary, and then gonna just come to the start finish line. If you have any questions, DM me on Discord. I do coaching services for $15 an hour. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.